Hey, good evening, everybody. KB5MIQ Big Boy. Well, we trying to get our 10-meter round table going tonight, but we got thunderstorms in the area, so we may not be on tonight. Got a few social media posts I want to talk about. Uh, well, one thing, we're at 689. I started to do the giveaway tonight, but I've been on the road all day and I ain't got everything ready set up for it yet. So the next video, no matter where we're at, we're going to do this 700 sub giveaway. I'd like to get closer. So if any of you guys can recommend me to get a few more subs this week, I'd appreciate it because I really enjoy doing this for y'all. Um, but got a few social media posts I want to talk about. One of them has already been took down by the admins on one page. I'm kind of glad they took it down, but I'm going to bring it up anyway because of one of the comments I saw on it. Somebody had posted a link to a website offering like an ICOM 7300 for like $200, calling it a brand new unbranded radio, free shipping, but it was out of Sri Lanka. Guys, don't fall for scams like that. Uh, Sri Lanka is one of them places that is known for scams. You know, years ago there was a deal going around telling you your credit card was messed up and you had to call back this number. Well, it sounded like a toll number, but a toll-free number, but it wasn't. It was Sri Lanka, and they automatically charge you $1,000 a minute to get you on the phone. Don't fall for that. Uh, and I read some of the comments. One guy actually, well, I ordered it to see what it was. Don't fall for that. Uh, there's too many other avenues to get used gear. MTC, he gives a 30-day warranty on most of his gear. I think other ham outfits, Gigaparts and DX Engineering offers used gear. Uh, look at your local ham fest. eBay, I guess, but most of that eBay stuff's going to be non-returnable. But don't fall for something like that. You know, criminals have been criminals forever. They just evolve with the technology. When I worked for Walmart. My very first job, 1976 to 1981, was working for a Walmart. I left there. I was sporting goods automotive manager. Uh, hot checks, shoplifters, till tappers. That was the way they theft back then. You know, and it's just evolved since then. You know, scam was going around here several years ago where people would call and claim to be with the IRS and say you had an arrest warrant out on you. And if you didn't send them $500 on an Apple card, you just fixed to be arrested. People fell for that. As technology improves, scams are going to improve. Uh, get you an Elmer to help you find some used gear. Call Richard Lenore at MTC. Talk to him about his used gear. Do something, but don't fall for a ham outfit supposedly in Sri Lanka, because you're just going to cost yourself some money and some heartache right there. That's about all I can say about that. All right, got a couple more items here I found. This goes with my last video talking about RFI interference. Last week I noticed a huge and sudden uptick in noise on all bands, ranging from a steady tick to a buzz depending on the band. Using a cheap AM transistor radio, I finally tracked it down to this LED bulb and a front door light. It hangs upside down and it had come apart, so the light assembly and circuit board were hanging by the wires. Replacing the bulb solved the noise. Not the first time I've had a noise issue with an LED bulb, but the first time I've had one come apart. Just keep that in mind if you experience a noise that's suddenly not there. And it could be something that simple. It's like we talked about before. You just going to have to do some looking, some isolating, and kind of figure your problem out from there. LED light can sure cause some RFI interference. All right, here's another one. And this gets back to two of the terms I keep talking about that drive me crazy in ham radio. The term starter radio and that's not a real radio. Someone told me to buy a real radio after he told me mine wasn't any good. Question, please. Please define a real radio as he wouldn't. All right. The guy shows a picture of his real radio, Yaesu 857. I guarantee you what this guy didn't want to call it a real radio for the same reason the guy told me this 701 wasn't a real radio years ago. Because the VFO knob is over here on the side. Okay? That's the only thing he said. The VFO knob is supposed to be in the center. It's not on the side. It's not a real radio. Okay. All I can say to that is this. That type of ham radio operator will never approve what you do unless you do everything exactly as he tells you to and have the exact same gear he's got. Don't let anybody tell you don't have a real radio. This hobby is expensive to get into. It's not real expensive to maintain once you get everything set up, but it's kind of expensive to get into. I want to see you on the air. I don't care what kind of radio you got. Nobody should care what kind of radio you got. It's your radio. Buy what you can afford and get on the air. And if you got a ham telling you, well, that ain't a real radio or that's a starter radio, that's a ham you probably don't need to be listening to. I hate to sound crude on that, but that is a term that I feel like helps keep people out of this hobby. When you tell somebody, oh, that's just a starter radio. Crap, I just give $700 for this radio and I got to buy another one? Or, oh, that ain't a real radio. What do you mean it ain't a real radio? Does every band your radio does? It reminds me of the time when I first went to work out at the depot. I was a wage grade machinist helper. And some of the old guys that tried to teach you how to do a job would get mad at you if you didn't lay your tools out on the desk just like they did. That was part of them teaching you how to do this job. You had to lay your tools out in the same order they did on their desk. Now, I don't teach that way. I never have. I want you to get to wherever you want to get, and I will try to give you advice, tell you what I do, but I will never tell you how to do it. I don't agree with that way of teaching. Because if you just make somebody do every little thing like you do it, that ain't teaching them nothing. And somebody telling a guy who's got a Yaesu 857 that ain't a real radio, that ain't kosher in my book at all. And you see it all the time. And I thought it was, I swear with social media it's worse. I swear it's worse. Guys, it don't matter what I tell you or anybody tells you. You're ultimately in charge of your own shack. And you're in charge with your own budget and the amount of money that you have to spend. I'm gladly give you advice. That's what I try to do with these videos is give people advice, give them avenues how they can research for themselves and make their own decision. But don't let somebody tell you that you got to do it this way or that's not real. That's not a good way to Elmer somebody in my book at all. Well, we got Shreveport Ham Fest coming up this coming Saturday, 13th. Any of y'all in that area, right now, I plan to be there. And unless something happens with family or something, I'm still planning to be there. Trying to get my wife to go with me. If not, I may not go with WD5HKV. Head over with him. Cody gave me a pretty good suggestion the other night. And I'm not set up for it yet. And it may be several videos down the road before I am set up for it. But I'm going to start looking for a 10-meter mobile rig. I would love to find a functional Radio Shack HTX 100. One of the first 10-meter mobile rigs Radio Shack put out because it was a true novice tech radio. I think it only operated on upper sideband. I think it only had 28 to 28.5 in it. And had all, I think it, no, it didn't have all modes. It was only CW and upper sideband. True novice tech radio. And I would love to try to get one of them and try to make a video running mobile. Cody and I worked a 10-meter mobile contact here a while back. Got a card from him. Really enjoyed working. I think I mentioned his call in one of my earlier videos. Going to do the video giveaway. I'm going to give away one of the handbooks and a soldering iron on my next video. I've been on the road all day. I had to take my dad out to Hazel, Texas for his monthly visit to his girlfriend. My 89-year-old dad, I'm taking him to see his old high school sweetheart, but I'm glad they still get together. But so I'm kind of tired. I ain't got everything ready for that, but we're going to do it on the next video. Y'all remember Main Trading Company, Paris, Texas, especially for used gear. Check his webpage every day, because his used gear listing changes every day. I noticed today he's got 3 pages of used gear up there. And it'll tell you when you look at a certain radio if he's got a 30-day warranty on it. And that's pretty good to buy a piece of used gear and get a 30-day warranty on it. Something to think about. Even if you had to give a few bucks extra for it, it'd be better taking a chance buying something off of eBay or, flea market type item. So check Richard out, Main Trading Company, Paris, Texas. Remember all your club pages: 4 States Amateur Radio, Shreveport, Cowtown, Dallas Amateur Radio, Farmersville, all good pages for information. And if you're in an area thinking about getting into ham radio, get on Facebook and look for a ham radio club page in your area, and they'll be glad to help you get out there, get on it. Remember other Facebook pages: Ham Radio, Flea Market, Trading Post, Texas Radio Operators, Ham Radio, Amateur Radio, Elmer's, all good avenues for information. Y'all, if weather permits, we're going to get on 10 here in just a minute. But our 10-meter round tables, Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Friday nights, should be around 28,450 or 460, 7:30 Central Standard Time. My email's posted on my QRZ page. Feel free to email me or comment here any questions you got. This is KB5 MIQ Big Boy. Thanks for all who subscribed. It's 73.